Hey, I'm John Fitch, and welcome to Worship Drumming Basics. Today we'll be covering a number of things. We're going to be covering posture, stick control, dynamics, team dynamics, working with your leader, and even mindsets of worship drumming. Thanks for joining us today. So we're actually going to start with some stick control items that are really going to help you play drums in church. You may have had a history of playing drums in various places, out at, rock atmospheres, clubs, bars, whatever your history is. And you're in church now, you've been invited to join the worship team, and playing drums in a worship team is a different craft. And I actually love it because there's a spiritual component to the drums. There's a different focus when you're playing drums in church than when you're playing in a band. And I'm going to walk you through some of that today. So a couple of things to keep in mind. When you're playing drums in a church, you're actually playing drums in a lot of variable rooms. And if you're enclosed in a cage, you might not have to pay as much attention to stick control and playing softly. But if you're playing in an open room like I am right now, or with a few baffles in front of you, you're going to have to be really careful how hard you play. So let's talk first about stick control. I believe that what we're going to walk through in this course is going to help you tremendously. I'm actually sharing with you things that I learned along the way. I've been playing drums in church for over 30 years now. I've gotten to travel, go on tours, and it's my passion to have excellence in church with my instrument. This is a worship instrument. I believe that you can. Our goal, our job description as a worship drummer is to actually help people engage in the music and help them especially engage with the lyrics so that they have an encounter with the Lord. So we want to actually support that versus bringing attention to our skill level or being too busy. We don't want to take away from people's ability to engage in the music and lyrics and specifically have encounters. So I'm going to walk you through some of this. So let's start with stick control. So when you're holding a drumstick, common misconception is to hold it really far back on the stick, which causes you to actually have to use more wrist power than you need to and more muscle power to move the stick, and actually causes you to crash and bang way louder than you need to in a church setting. What I recommend is actually holding the stick in a pivotal point towards the back third of the stick between your index finger and your thumb, so that the stick can actually oscillate and balance naturally with very little effort. So what this allows you to do is to hit a snare very easily by just, the movement of these two fingers like this. So you get it just the right positioning. The stick will literally bounce with very little effort. Then, of course, you can add your three fingers to the back of the stick to provide more support. So what this allows you to do is not only play with more stick control, more effortlessly, it allows you to increase the speed of your stick motion, and it allows you to play softer while still playing passionately. Let me demonstrate. So I barely used any energy or any effort, barely used muscle power, and I was able to play a full beat. The other thing is it avoids you holding the stick too intensely. The harder you hold the stick, the louder you're going to smash the cymbals, and the more disruption it could create in the room if you're not caged in. When you hold the stick loosely, you can actually play passionately while giving the stick some wiggle room in your hands, so that the passion comes through the instrument, which you want, without banging on the drums too loud. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about a hi-hat approach that is an up and down oscillating hi-hat approach, which will give more texture to your beat. So you may be familiar with just regular eighth notes on the hi-hat for a traditional rock beat like this. So I'm hitting the hi-hat directly, straight on, same motion every time. So we'll get a zoom up on the camera here, but what you can do is actually come down on the hi-hat with the side of the stick, and when your wrist comes up, you hit it with the tip of the stick, like this. So what that enables you to do is to actually go into 16th notes, 32nd notes, and actually play a faster beat with more texture, like this. So that's a little trick that adds a lot more texture to your hi-hat work, and check it out. Feel free to press pause on the video, get on your drum set, work these things out, because drumming is all about building new muscle memory until things become second nature. That way you can fully, personally also engage in worship while you're playing, rather than having to focus on the technical aspects of drumming. So get familiar with it and learn it at home.